These are the 6 best passing plays in Madden. They destroy man coverage, they destroy zone coverage, and some of them even allow you to get a one-play touchdown, which will have your opponents rage quitting. The first play we're going to look at is Flood out of tight slots halfback weak. The only playbook that has this play is the Bengals. Now you want to run this play with your running back on the short side of the field. So you can see we are on the left hash mark, so we have our running back facing the left side. If we were on the right hash mark, we would want to flip this play. Now the reason this play is so good is because it can easily destroy man and zone, and you really don't have to make any adjustments. If you're going against any type of zone, the first thing you want to look for is the running back table route. It's one of the best table routes in the game. Take this every single time. It's an easy 5+ yards. It's the easiest throw you can make, and it's safe. But if you want to wait just a little bit longer, you're going to also be able to hit this corner route for an even bigger gain on the sideline. You can also hit the quick tight end drag coming across the middle as well if they're running to the left side to cover the other routes. Now, if your opponent's doing some type of a zone blitz and you feel as though you need to block an extra guy, what you want to do is actually block the tight end by pressing wire triangle, selecting his icon, and then pressing the right trigger or the R2 button. And then you're going to want to go ahead, pull up your hot routes again with wire triangle, select the B icon, and then go down on the right stick to put him on a drag so that you still have the check down option, but you actually have some extra protection if need be, and you can still hit all of the same routes. Now this play is also going to do a really good job against man defense as well, and that's what a lot of people like to run in Madden. So you're going to have the corner route that's going to create great separation on the sideline against man. This post route can also beat man very consistently as well if you time it up, even a 2-man under. If you time it up right, he's going to split the safeties and make a big catch. You also have the drag route and the deeper in route from the B receiver on the right, which can sometimes beat man. It's a little hit or miss. It really just depends on the game and how it plays on that particular play, but there are always options. Now, another thing that I like to do versus man coverage, especially if they start blitzing, is again, you want to block your tight end, but against man, you want to actually put the running back on an in route to give you another man beating option. Then with the B receiver, you can either leave him on his dig or you can put him on a drag if you feel that the drag route is going to give you better separation. But this is what you have here is a in route going to the other side, which can also cook man defense pretty easily. And if they're running those cover 0 man blitzes, this play is really good for that as well, because you still have your corner route, of course, but what you're going to be able to do is hit this post typically for a huge touchdown over the top, just like this, because he's going to cook the cornerback and there's going to be no deep coverage to stop him. The next play we're going to look at is the PA boot over out of the gun bunch tight end. Up on the screen are all of the playbooks where you can find this play. This has been one of the best plays in Madden for years, and this year is no different. Now, I do like to have the running back on the short side of the field once again with this play, so you can see we're on the right hash, so the running back is also to the right side of the field. Now, this play, there's a bunch of different ways you could set it up, and I've done an entire video on it, but to include it in this video, I'm going to give you a little easy setup that you can use. You can streak the tight end and put your running back on an in route. If you do need extra blocking, then you can keep either the running back or the tight end in to block. I typically like to keep the running back in with this play because the tight end streak is going to really help you open up the deep cross. But you can hit the B receiver underneath against zone just like that. You can wait a little bit longer in the play to hit the Y crossing route, as it's going to have a big opening against pretty much any zone coverage down the sideline. And you also have the running back that's going to be a nice dump down underneath that goes the exact opposite way, which can really throw your opponents off as they're worried about all of the routes going to the right. Another thing that's great to do with this play, if you have a running back that can get extra hot routes, is you want to put your running back on the Texas route instead of the in route. He's going to get underneath zones for quick passes like this, and he's going to get easy yardage. But he's also going to cook man coverage as well, which I'll show you in a second. Another great thing you could do with this play versus cover 3 is you can bomb it for a one-play touchdown by blocking the running back and the tight end and putting the Y receiver on a streak. This is going to open up the deep post. You probably want somebody a little faster here than Mike Williams, but even he can get it done for the one-play touchdown. Now, against man defense, this play is just as good. As you're going to see. You're going to have a bunch of routes that can easily beat man coverage for big gains. You've got the crossing routes and the drags underneath. As you're going to see here, now we're going to hit the B receiver who's going to create crazy separation, and it's just going to be really tough to defend. And of course, you're going to have your running back cutting the opposite way on that in route, which, I mean, look just how open it gets. The in route is really, really good. But remember the Texas route we were talking about? This one's even better. And don't get me wrong, I love the in route. I love it a lot. But this route, I mean, it just goes further downfield, and you look at the difference. Look how much yardage you can get with this. Now, if they're running those popular cover 0 blitzes, this is what you want to do. You want to block the tight end, and you want to have the running back either on his in route or the Texas route. The Texas route is going to definitely be preferred because this is going to just create insane separation, and there's even chances where this turns into a touchdown where you're either open or you just have to make one person miss with a juke. Now, another good thing about cover 0 is you have the crossing routes, which obviously are going to beat their man, but you have the deep post, which can be a one-play touchdown because there's no coverage over top. Now, Marlon Humphrey does have inside shade, so he will typically play this better than most corners, but even there, we were still able to get the one-play touchdown. The next play we're going to look at is verticals out of trips tight end. Up on the screen are all of the playbooks where you can find this play. This is for my guys that want to spread things out a little bit more, and this might seem like a very basic play, but it's very high powered this year. So for the running back, what I like to do is either put him on an out route, or if you have a running back that can get extra hot routes, which we can do here with the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes has hot route master, is we can also use the Texas route. I like to use both. I think they both have their benefits on this play, but if you don't have the extra hot routes, the out route is going to work really well. Now against cover 3, there's a lot of things you could do here, and notice also that we have our trips receivers on the short side of the field. So the ball's on the left hash, and that means we want our receivers on the left side of the field because I think it works better with this play. So cover 3, number 1, you can attack the seams for a big gain like that. It is a timing throw. You got to let him clear the underneath guys, but it's a big gain. But you're also going to have the B receiver and a nice window here once he passes the linebacker. I like to possession catch it just to make sure I get down and don't take any hits. The thing that makes this play really great is this B route is so good this year. So what happens when it cuts over the middle is the outside corner on the right side is going to start to kind of pay attention to it as it gets deeper. But if you throw the B route like we just did, which I'll show you again, if you throw it at the right time, he's not going to quite get over there to fully make a play on it. But the other thing that makes it really good is the outside corner focuses on it just enough in order for us to hit the tight end just like this on the sideline. It is a little bit more of a timing throw, but you can see you can pick up a big gain. And you can also take a quick dump down to the running back if you want. Try to catch and run. Try to pick up 4 or 5 yards maybe, but it's a check down route. Now, where the Texas route makes this really good is you can do the quick pass over the middle, with the Texas route, but it really forces that linebacker who is going to be the user defender when you're playing an opponent. It forces him to really choose between the Texas route and the B route because most people are going to want to run and guard the B route because it gets open for big gains. But when they do that, then the Texas route, you can actually wait a little bit and throw it a little later, and it's going to be even more open because the user is going to vacate that area. Now, if they run cover 2, the play is going to develop a little differently. So if it's a cover 2 guy, what you want to do is hit the X when he gets past the corner, and he's going to have a big opening between the corner and the safety. But you can also hit the B receiver as well when he passes that middle linebacker. Again, you definitely want to possession catch this so that safety does not pop you. And of course, you're going to have a really good check down here. This RB is going to work even better against cover 2 because that tight end corner is going to pull the cornerback further back. But you can also use the Texas route strategy as well, which is going to be really nice versus cover 2 because if the user is running or the computer is playing harder on that cross, that just opens up this Texas route even more. So you can really get nasty with this play versus zone. Now, this play can be a good man beater as well. So, of course, you're going to have the tight end who's going to typically create pretty good separation. There can be times where the computer defender will play it, but usually he'll be open. You also are going to have the out route from the running back. You're going to want to try to throw it a little later and get a catch and run and go down the sideline like that. But this B route does a really good job against man as well because it just gets off the press nicely and it's always going to create this great separation and you're going to be able to split the safeties for a huge gain. The reason you can split the safety so well, if you watch the safety on the right, he's going to pay attention to that tight end and drift with him so you can catch and run, and even sometimes this turns into a touchdown. Now, of course, if you have the Texas route, this is where you want to use it every time. The Texas route versus man is going to be way better than the out route for this play, and this is what you're going to want to use if you can get it, because now you have this route going to the opposite side of the crosser for a much bigger gain. Now, against the popular cover 0 blitzes, what I like to do is block the running back and drag the tight end, because what's going to happen is a lot of times the strong safety is going to be manned up on the tight end, just like this, and it's just going to be the easiest quick pitch and catch of your life. But that's not the best part of the play. The best part against cover 0 is the B receiver becomes a one-play touchdown. So depending on who the user defends, you're going to choose between the tight end and the B receiver. But let me show you what happens to the B receiver. Once he kind of makes the cut, you lead this to the outside, and especially if you have a fast guy, you can see he's on one of the best corners in the game, and he cooked him for a touchdown. Another thing you can do versus cover 0 if you want to leave the tight end corner, which is a good man beater as well, is you can put the Y slot receiver on a zig route, which is another quick hitting man beater to the outside like that. So it's a little bit of a different way to set it up, and you still keep the one play touchdown with the deep cross. The next play we're going to be looking at is verticals out of bunch. This example is called Bills verts because it's in the Bills playbook. Now in some playbooks it's going to just be called verticals, in other playbooks it's going to be the team name and then the word verts. Usually the team name version is going to have this running back on this speed in route, which is really good. Other versions are going to have the running back on a delayed route. This in route is definitely better. So if your version of the play does not have this in route, you're just going to want to hot route him to a regular in route. And of course, as always, if you have a running back that gets extra hot routes, the Texas route a lot of times is going to be preferred as well, which I'll show different reasons why. Now I like running this with the bunch receivers on the short side of the field, so you can see that we're on the right hash, so the bunch is on the right. And the reason for this is because against a lot of zone defenses, you can quick pass the B receiver like this up the field for an easy 5 yards, sometimes a little more. Be careful, this is a little bit more of an advanced strategy. You want to make sure you're reading the defense properly because there are certain things that can pick this off, but typically people that don't adjust too much, this is an easy quick pass versus any zone. Then you also have the tight end, which is another quick pass, especially against cover 3 as he kind of cuts up the field. A lot of people love to throw this quick pass. You've probably seen it. It's very good. Then of course you've got the crossing route. It's going to usually find a soft spot against zones. You want to go for the possession catch typically so that you don't get hit. But this crossing route has just been one of the best routes in the game for a long time, and as you can see, it's really easy yardage. Now the running back on the speed in is also such a great route against zone. It's going to get underneath because all these deeper routes are pulling the zones back. So you're really forcing your opponent to defend a bunch of quick options, but then you've got the running back and the crossing route working together over the middle, which makes the user defender have to pick one or the other. So this is a really tough play to defend, and even if you have the regular in route and not the speed in route, it's going to work pretty much the same. The speed in's a little bit better, but this one works good as well. And again, the Texas route really makes this play just even that much better because it's a little bit quicker of a pass. It's a little bit harder to defend, but it also works really well against man. And against cover 2s, this is such a good play as well because the B receiver, while you can quick pass him, you saw that he was open. You can also wait for him to pass the corner and then get a big pass down the sideline like that. But even the other routes in this play are going to work well against a cover 2, but a lot of it is going to depend on the user defender. Is he going to clamp down on the running back? If so, that's going to open the cross. Is he going to run with the cross? Then you might have a quick pass to the tight end or to the running back like this. So who the user defends on this play kind of dictates where you want to go in a cover 2. And this is also a really great play against man coverage because of the running back and the crossing route. You can see the crossing route usually creates great separation, huge gain. That's a lot of times who the user defender is going to go after because it's the bigger gain. And that's why the running back and the crosser work so well together because it's just hard to defend them both. And with the Texas route, it just makes it that much better because you have these two dominant routes that are going to the exact opposite spots on the field and no user can cover both of them. Another thing you could do versus man is put the tight end on a drag as well to kind of get him out of the way a little bit of where that angle route is eventually going to run from the running back. And this gives you another good man beating option to the opposite side of the field that stays underneath. You can also even do this against zone as a mix up as well. Now against cover 0 blitzes, you can put the running back on his Texas route or the in route, whichever one you have. And then I like to motion the B receiver over like a step and then snap the ball because he'll help me block. And you can see running backs wide open and then we have the crosser wide open. The pressure still kind of came in a little faster than we wanted there, but we have two routes that can cook man coverage. And now we have what might be the best play in the game. It is the double post out of the bunch offset. You can find this in the Eagles and the Colts playbook. This play really has it all, and it doesn't quite matter where you run it from. It's just going to be good no matter what. So the only adjustment I like to make here is putting the RB on a drag route. It just gives me a little mesh concept underneath with the running back. And against zone, there's a lot of things you could do. You can first quick pass the tight end before he goes up the field. He works as a really good flat route. But you also have the meshes underneath with the running back and RB receiver, and it just creates really easy quick passes. You also have this post route here to the B receiver. When he cuts back over the middle, you can kind of click on and make a catch. It's a little bit tougher of a timing throw, but it's there. Now, if you want to open up the post a little bit more and not be as worried about the timing, you can streak the RB receiver instead. You still have the check down the A into the running back, but this also is going to open up the post just a little bit more. As you can see, it's super easy and you can get a huge gain out of it. Sometimes you can break away just like that for a one-play touchdown. Now, speaking of one-play touchdowns, if you have the post going to the short side of the field, so here we did put the ball on the left hash mark and we're running the same setup, it does kind of make it a little bit easier to get a one-play touchdown with this if you're running it that way, just because you have a little bit more of a chance to kind of get into that open space, but it's going to work pretty good no matter what. And you can honestly even leave the play stock if you want to. I do like to put the RB on the drag to have kind of another underneath check down, but even his crossing route is a nice quick pass like this. It's just that him and the post kind of run to a similar area, so if you do want to quick snap it, you can do that. This play is obviously going to also destroy man coverage, and we can easily see why. We have the meshes underneath with the running back and the drag. They kind of got caught up there, but we still were able to get yards. The post is going to do a good job when it cuts over the middle. Look how this destroys man. It's one of the best man-beating routes in the game. Now on the outside here, the X receiver on this C route, that will usually do a pretty good job at beating man as well. You just have to kind of time it up right, but you can see on the sideline, wide open for a huge gain. And if you leave the crossing route, this crossing route is a quick hitter against man as well, so it's kind of up to you. Now against cover zero blitzes, again, you're going to have some big things you could do here. You're going to want to block the tight end to give you some extra blocking, but the big play here is trying to get the B receiver for like a one-play touchdown like this. And right there, he didn't even absolutely cook the corner that much, and we still were able to get the touchdown. So we're going to run it again here because typically that's what's going to happen. You're going to get that kind of separation, but you saw even when it wasn't perfect, it was still a touchdown either way. And of course, you still have your underneath routes and you have the X receiver on the other side. So running cover zero versus this is a no-go. Now that you know about the best passing plays in the game, you're halfway there. Now you need to know about the best defense to run in the game so that you can get stops, and you can check out that video right here on the screen.